Plaintiff Dennis Court was married to the defendant, and she was a great wife and mother. But Dennis divorced her, and he regrets it to this day. Dennis is suing his ex-wife for an unpaid loan. Defendant Wendy Staley says Dennis was not a good husband because he was controlling and verbally abusive. Wendy claims after 7 years, she was sick and tired of Dennis's behavior, so she asked for a divorce. Wendy insists the money Dennis is suing for was a gift.
Start with you.
Your Honor, first off, this is my ex-wife of over 20 years.
What happened to your marriage?
Well, it was all basically my fault. She was a great wife, good mother. She worked hard. She took care of the kids. She took care of me. And I hate to admit this in front of a whole bunch of people, but being an only child, I was a little spoiled, and I wanted more and more, and I never knew how well I had it.
Yeah, sound like you're trying to get back in there.
Well, we have issues. We remain friends. We've gone out to dinners for birthdays.
Try to get her back?
No, sir.
Why?
Just staying friends.
Why? All this stuff you talking and you never tried to get her back. I loved her so dearly. She was the best thing. I couldn't ask for anyone else. I don't know why I did it. That was the worst thing I ever did in my life.
I like being by myself, sir.
Let me hear from you, man. You feel the same way?
I feel that he was not a very good husband.
Why?
He was very derogatory in his remarks. He was very verbal abusive to me. He was very controlling. So after so many years, about 7 years we were married, I decided I had had enough. And I said, I'm going to end this marriage. And that was the first and only time in the marriage that I ever saw him get emotional. What am I going to do now?
You asked me for the divorce.
Oh, yes, I did.
I didn't sit down in the kitchen and say, it's time to part company.
No, you did not.
Man. I must be living in a different world because I'm the one that asked for the divorce.
Why?
I was feeling strangled, the responsibilities of being a man, that everything was on my shoulders, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't deal with it.
So you ran?
I ran. Yes, I ran.
All right, go ahead. So you say you loaned her $5,000 under what circumstance?
In October of 16, Wendy called me from California. They brought her mother to the hospital. Her two brothers brought her mother to the hospital. The brothers were arrested for abuse. The mother ended up passing away in California. But Wendy called me up and she asked me if I had any money to loan her. I said, what's up? I need money to retain an attorney to get everything put in my name because her brothers were put in jail. What do you need? Well, if you have $5,000. When? Give me your account number. I'll get it to you this morning. She called me, let me know a couple weeks later, her mother passed away. The boys were put in jail, and she'd be coming home. Nothing was ever mentioned until January, when I asked her for my money. She said, excuse me? I thought you gave that to me. I said, gave you $5,000? No, when I loaned you $5,000. Oh, I misunderstood.
Ma'am, let me hear from you.
Pretty much all of that is not true.
No,
On October 1st of 2016, I got a call from the deputy sheriff in Monterey, California, that they had my mom at the hospital. I quote that my brothers had been arrested on felony charges for severe neglect of an elder. So I took a plane out the next day, and on October 7th of 2016, I was calling some friends and family to explain what was going on out there. Dennis was one of them at the time that I called. I told him what was going on. So I needed to get an attorney to open the probate for my mother after her passing. And when I was out there October 7th, when I had talked to Dennis, he said, do you need anything? I said, no. He says, well, I'm gonna give you some money to take care of things for your mother because I loved her. And and he said,
I loved her.
And so I said, did you want to put it in the GoFundMe page? My daughters had set up to handle some expenses. He said, no, let me call my bank and see if they can do an immediate transfer. And so he deposited in my account. I have all my proofs here.
I think we can acknowledge you received it.
Yes, correct, exactly. And so
the question is whether repayment was ever discussed.
No, repayment was never discussed.
Right, okay.
This was
the
a gift.
The GoFundMe account started when?
This was a gift.
After your mother passed away and after
No.
I gave, yes,
No,
after I
the
gave you
GoFundMe page did not start.
It started after I
before.
loaned you $5,000, lady.
Whenever it started, it started. I didn't start the GoFundMe page. My daughters did.
All right, so that's why you got put out the last time. Talking crazy. She told you that's what it was. Now you coming here begging, I wish I had a...
It was
son, then you
Right.
can't help yourself. In 10 minutes, you're talking crazy again.
It was
Yes,
it was a gift, and so I when I got back home, I hired another attorney, and before I wrote that check for the retainer, I called him and I said, "Are you sure you don't need this money back? Because I have to send a retainer. If you need any more money, let me know."
How much was the estate worth, though, ma'am? Over 100 grand? Over 200 grand?
Well, it
over
was until my
300?
brothers got to it.
All right, yeah.
I had to pay for the cremation. I had to pay for the services. I had many
That
fees to
came
pay
out
on
of
her
the
behalf.
estate, right?
No, it didn't.
Came out of your pocket?
It did come out of my pocket.
So they're going to reimburse you.
I
you
don't know if there'll be anything left to get me reimbursed
Why?
at this time. When they were out in California, they admitted to the sheriff that they had gone through that and there was only $100,000 left, which
How long
I don't
ago
know.
was that?
2016. So they went through a lot of money. I don't know where it went. I can only imagine. So I tend not to get reimbursed for most of my money, probably all of it.
Well, you can get this $5,000, but you have to pay him, ma'am. I don't believe it's reasonable or fair for him to give you $5,000 to rescue an estate, nor do I believe it's reasonable that he would do it. Have a good day. Judging for the plaintiff. Get
Thank
yours
you.
from the estate.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Right on. How could you stand there and lie? Look at me. I want nothing to do with you. Do you understand? Nothing. We see each other in the grocery store, walk by me.
Don't
Leave
worry.
that
we
woman
won't-
alone. You were just begging.
I'm sorry.
Come on out of here. Just here begging.
I got nothing.
He lost the best friend he ever had.
Yeah, he
And
died.
if this is
He
the way
died
he
years
had,
ago.
if this is the way he had to get his money back by lying, so be it.